You were told money rewards effort, patience, and smart decisions. But if your bills arrive before your options do, effort is not the whole game. So this is not just about who works harder or plans better. It is about who gets time and who gets chased by the clock.
This video answers only one question without any tips or recommendations.
If the system is fair on paper, why does it feel tighter the closer you are to payday? Think about your own month. Your income lands, and then the queue is already waiting. Tax is waiting. Rent is waiting. Debt is waiting. Food, fuel, childcare, and insurance are waiting. So your money does not enter an empty room. It enters a room full of deadlines, where every bill is already waiting with its hand out. That is where this story really starts. Not with rich people, not with envy, with your clock. Picture a ticking clock over your paycheck. Every tick removes a little room to choose. Now picture someone whose money is not needed this week to stay afloat. The same market does not feel the same to those two people. One sees price, the other feels pressure. And once pressure enters the room, the same price stops feeling neutral. OECD data shows wealth is much more concentrated than income across advanced economies. On average, the top 10% own more than half of household wealth across OECD countries. In the United States, that top 10% share is 79%. So this is not only about some people earning more. It is about some people standing in a different position inside the same system. The official story says wealth mostly reflects better habits and better decisions. And yes, behavior matters. Saving matters. Patience matters. Risk-taking matters. But that story explains effort better than it explains advantage, because advantage is also about classification. It is about how the system classifies your money after it arrives, and that classification can change what it keeps, what it taxes, and how much freedom it leaves behind. And most people never get taught to look there. They get taught to look at effort. That sounds reasonable, but it leaves out the part that matters most, the rules underneath the outcome, and who those rules quietly favor. Imagine two people both have a strong year. One is paid through wages. The other is rewarded through assets. Those rewards do not always travel through the same channels. And once they enter different channels, they can be taxed, timed, and treated in very different ways. OECD research says dividends and capital gains are taxed more favorably than wages in many OECD countries. In plain English, where money comes from can change how the system sees it, taxes it, times it, and how much flexibility it gives the person receiving it. That sounds technical, but technical is often where power hides. Because most people argue about how hard someone worked. Very few people argue about how the rules classified the reward. The person on payroll usually gets one lane. Earn it, receive it, lose tax on it, and keep moving. The person with assets may get more timing choices around how gains appear. Not infinite freedom, just more room than the person living inside a monthly deadline. And small differences in room become huge over time. Picture a ladder on screen. At the bottom, money arrives with a job already attached. At the top, money can wait, move, compound, or stay unrealized longer. Call that the optionality ladder. It is not just about how much money you have. It is about how much urgency your money is forced to carry. Now bring back the clock. If your money has to solve this month, you bargain like someone under light. If your money can wait 6 months, you bargain like someone in the dark with time. The number may be the same. The number may match, but the pressure behind it changes how long you can wait, how hard you can bargain, and how much power you actually bring into the decision. That is why forced timing matters more than most people realize. A deadline turns neutral prices into expensive choices. A late fee is forced timing. It is not really a price change. It is the system charging you for running out of room. A rushed loan is forced timing. Selling early because the bill is due now is forced timing. And forced timing is one of the most expensive things in ordinary life. IRS guidance shows long-term capital gains can face lower tax rates than ordinary income in the United States. So time does not just help money grow. It can also change when that growth becomes visible, how it is treated, and how much control it gives the person who owns it. Time can also change how the system sees that growth. That is a different kind of power. Now add access. The SEC says many private offerings are open mainly to accredited investors who meet wealth, income, or qualifying certification standards. In simple terms, some financial doors open wider after wealth is already there. So wealth is not only an outcome. In parts of the system, it also acts like an entry pass. That is where the official story starts to crack. Because the real question is no longer just who earned more. The deeper question is, who got a better menu before the choice even started? This is the aha most people miss. The system does not only reward effort, it rewards classification, it rewards timing, it rewards access. And once you see that, the ladder stops looking random. You start seeing why two people can work equally hard and still move differently. Not because one is secretly virtuous and the other is not. Because the rules may be rewarding different kinds of income in different ways. That does not magically solve the problem, but it does change what you are looking at. You stop seeing only effort. You start seeing the structure wrapped around effort. That is the first real shift in understanding. And understanding changes what feels invisible. IFS research says taxable capital gains in the UK are realized by a very small minority of adults. In the year 2022 to 2023, about 350,000 individuals realized taxable gains, around 0.65% of the adult population. Less than 3% of UK adults paid capital gains tax at any point over a decade. So, when investment gains are discussed like a broad everyday experience, distribution matters. The language sounds universal. The access is not. And once access is uneven, behavior adapts to that unevenness. Institutions build for larger balances first. Tax planning grows around categories that matter most to owners. Employers know wage earners cannot wait forever. Lenders price urgency into the deal. Markets reward whoever can survive a bad month without moving. Nobody needs a smoky backroom for that pattern to persist. Rational behavior inside the rules is enough. That is the second-order effect. The system does not just produce outcomes. It trains people to behave in ways that keep those outcomes repeating. You feel that training every time. Be patient sounds wise, but your calendar says otherwise. You feel it when a missed payment hurts more than a missed opportunity. You feel it when financial advice assumes you have room that you do not have. So this was never just about the 1% being better with money. It was about who got ownership, access, timing, and distance from urgency. If this changed how you see your own clock, write clock in the comments. The visible result was wealth, but the hidden asset was optionality. And once you see that, the surface story starts to look too small. Because the outcome was never shaped by effort alone. It was also shaped by the rules that decide whose money gets time.